Brewed Tees, and he made a big announcement today. He is running for mayor. Tony, thanks for coming in.
Appreciate you having us.
Why are you running for mayor?
I'm running for mayor because I feel like it's time for change, and it's time for the people to have a voice again. If anybody's paying attention, it seems like there's kind of been a disregard for the people, and what better time than now?
Specifically, a disregard for the people. What are you talking about? What are the big issues that you think are facing Cleveland these days?
There's a lot of big issues. The issue that I really want to focus on is education, and primarily adult education. I think that most people don't realize that more than 50% of our adults are functionally illiterate, to the point where they can't read a bus route, they can't read their prescription or their utility bill. And I don't think anything else happens. There's no progress otherwise. You want to talk safety, you want to talk economic development. Nothing happens unless we have human development. And there's a whole bunch of people that have been neglected for the better part of a decade.
What is the current administration doing wrong in your mind that you think you can do better?
I don't really want to talk about what they're doing wrong. I just feel like it's time for a new mindset. And the mindset, you know, in the region and with our current administration is that mediocrity is okay, that it's okay to be average. And that's not how I live. That's not how the people around me live. That's not how I do business. And I think that if we demand a lot out of our sports teams and downtown, we should demand more from our leadership. And I want a new mindset that thinks we can be the best in everything, and especially from our current administration.
Now, you've never run for public office
Correct.
before, right?
Yep.
I mean, why at this point? You're doing well in your business.
Yeah.
You've got a lot of things going on.
At
this point, as someone who's never run for office, I mean, people are going to look at that and they're going to go, okay. Not that that's an impediment these days, obviously, because as we've seen.
We have.
But a lot of people are going to look at this and go, okay, why is this guy doing this? He's never done this before.
Yeah.
He's doing really well. How would you sum that answer up?
Well, I've never really wanted to be in politics, but I've also loved Cleveland my whole life. And as passionate as I am about my business, I'm way more passionate about the city. And my heart is for the people. And when I go into these communities and actually have conversations and I realize that the people are oppressed and that there's really systemic problems, I can't just sit back and wait. And I can't wait 4 years. Like, you know, people say, why don't you run for council? Well, we're seeing evidence of the fact that council really has no power right now. And there's no checks and balances for the current administration. And so if we want real change, we have to take it from the top. And I don't want to wait 4 years. I also don't want to have to move. If opportunity is greater outside of the region, then it's up to me and to our generation to make it stronger here.
Crime, obviously, a big problem in Cleveland. What's your plan on solving that, or at least curbing it?
Yeah, well, for me, there's a lot to do, and it's tough to say this is exactly what I would do in day one. I think it's a long-term process. I think that morale inside the police department is as low as it's ever been, and I think that in order to actually have strong policing in our community, we have to strengthen the core of the police department. These guys that go out there and deal with issues that we've, you know, hardly ever dealt with, we can't expect them to go on the streets without proper training, without support, without the equipment they need. And it's tough to talk community relations and changing policing from that aspect when the guys don't feel like they're equipped even to go on the streets. And so the initial thing for me would be to put things in the place so they're supported, and then deploy more in the streets. It's tough to say let's deploy more when there's no trust from the community to begin with.
When you say police morale is low, where is that coming from? Is that
it's coming from yes, it's coming from my conversations with police officers, lieutenants, and those in the police force.
Mm-hmm. When you look at job one for you right now, you have to have, what, 20,000 signatures by...
No, 3,000.
3,000, okay, by June 29th.
Yeah, June 29th signatures.
Where are you in that process at this point?
We're actively working. Now that we're public, we can work a little bit harder, so my goal is actually to get them as soon as we can. So.
People know you as the Fresh Brewed Tees guy. They know you as the guy who helped bring Charlie Sheen to town last year. What should people know about you that perhaps they don't?
Probably my background, and just briefly, I come from a single-parent home, grew up with my grandparents, and they helped raise me with my mom, very middle class, and so I've always kind of been the underdog, continuously striving to better myself. I've been working since the age of 12, earned the only master's degree in my whole family. Started my company right out of college, and it's 8 years old, and I have employed a lot of people. So I'm the underdog, Cleveland's the underdog. I think it's time for us to be the favorite, and I'm just anxious to get to work.
You ready for this?
I'm definitely ready for this.
Okay. Tony Madalone, thanks a lot. Appreciate it.
Appreciate having me. Thank you.
Thank you for watching.